Hi, everyone. Kathy Rose here. I'm going to talk to you about the new moon in Scorpio. And I'm actually recording this on the day of the new moon, November 13th. It happened earlier this morning, 4:27 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm a little bit after the new moon, but I had to at least touch base and say a few thoughts that I have about this particular lunation. As you see on screen, I have the Scorpio mandala, full of passion, full of intensity, which are the themes and the keywords for this lunation. Let's take a look at the chart real quick. It's been all over all the astrology circles because this particular lunation is probably the most intense and concentrated message of all of 2023. The Sun, Moon, Mars conjunct in Scorpio opposite the planet Uranus. It's quite the statement in the fixed modality. So you may have heard many, many things already about this new moon, but what I wanted to say was we have an invitation to go deep within our own psyche and our emotions and learn how to organize what we are feeling. Learn how to direct it where we want it to go. Learn how to deal with a fixed energy that is in play. The fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. So here we have the three planets in Scorpio, and then we have Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus, offering us a moment to appreciate and to work with a fixed modality. Let me show you the next slide to help you understand this. This slide is a meme my husband made for me. I asked him to make it because as a Scorpio, I understand what this message is saying. The question is to persist or to let go. Sometimes trying to break through closed doors just gets you bloody knuckles. Learning when to release and let go is a superpower. And part of this new moon in Scorpio is really talking about that very message. When do we let go, whether that is letting go of expectations or attachments, or maybe let go of something in particular in our life that needs to be released so that our life can move forward? It is this concept when we have a lunation in Scorpio, particularly in this case, opposite Uranus. Uranus is bringing in new circulation, new energy. It's trying to expand. It's trying to get rid of stagnation. When we use this lunation for us personally, then we have to ask ourselves what habits have become stagnant? What part of our life is stale or stuck? And Uranus in this new moon is trying to help bring in life force and movement and growth. So let go. Let go, release, surrender right now, step into the flow, center yourself deeply within. Mars being part of this new moon is super potent in being able to emotionally get to that place of surrendering with confidence and peace and trust. It's really, really amazing how much is offered from this new moon. Now, we know there's a whole lot going on in the world right now. We know that tensions are high, fighting is high, people are angry. We know that. That's on the external level. But what I focus on when I do these videos is how we can use this energy personally in our own life. So let go, surrender, release, but bring everything into your core center right now and focus on what I talked about in the November forecast video, which is the indomitable spirit within. That's what this new moon wants to trigger. And the other thing I wanted to say real quick is anytime we have a lunation in Scorpio, Scorpio is very connected to our higher senses, our intuitive senses, our connection with the universe. That's a very Scorpio message. So this is where we have superpowers, this ability to connect with direct divine connection, this ability to receive information directly. It's your superpower. So I want to remind you, on my Maverick podcast, there are 2 episodes where I didn't have a guest. It was just me talking to you. And episode 20, I talked about aura cleansing. Episode 29, I talked about the psychic senses. And there's a whole lot of information in there that you might want to review right now. It's free. So it's not like I'm trying to sell you something. And I am going to do another episode. I'm going to record it hopefully sometime in this next week on the Maverick podcast, where it's just me speaking again. And I'm going to talk about some specific techniques you can do in order to enhance your psychic senses, your ability to receive information when you need to get it. For example, for the past month, I have been doing a worldwide scan. There's a technique, and I'm going to talk about this in the podcast, where I just sort of scan the world, and what I'm sensing for are hot spots or areas that may be coming into the news cycle or areas that I might want to be aware of. And for the past month, I've been sensing Iceland. It's like sending a sonar thing that they do in the Navy in a submarine. You've seen it. I don't know what it's called, but it goes round and round, and then it'll blip when it hits something. Well, that's what I do symbolically. And Iceland has been giving me a blip for the past month. And look what's happening. There's an imminent volcanic eruption getting ready to take place there. So it doesn't make any difference in my life personally. I wasn't planning on going to Iceland. But what I'm saying is I do this regularly to sense and get awareness of what's happening in the world and in my own personal life, and is very, very accurate for me. But I have learned how to do it. I have developed the techniques. And so I'm going to share some of those techniques with you in the next episode for the Maverick podcast. Now, how that relates back to this new moon in Scorpio, it's your superpower to be able to be directly connected with the universe. You just have to learn how to do it. I want to talk real quick about the full moon in Sagittarius coming up on December 27th, because there is a theme that is repeating. So for the new moon in Scorpio, the sun and the moon were conjunct Mars. For the full moon in Sagittarius, the sun will be conjunct Mars, moon will be opposite Mars. So Mars is a big player here. Now, the big difference is it will be Mars in Sagittarius conjunct the sun, which is a totally different flavor than Mars in Scorpio. But still, we're having this Mars showing up. So what that tells me is for this full moon in Sagittarius, we're still going to have an awareness of all the conflict that's happening in the world, the fighting, the wars, the agitation. Mars in Sagittarius is very connected to opinion. So be aware towards the end of November, right around Thanksgiving for the United States, there will be that strong urge to have one's opinion respected and projected. Now, right now that can be pretty volatile. So be aware of that and focus a higher vision, elevate above so that you're not reactive. But the good news about this full moon in Sagittarius, Sagittarius is a fire sign that wants to take action, wants to put things into action. And we have the square from Saturn in Pisces to this full moon. And that square from Saturn is saying, take the emotional development you learned from the new moon in Scorpio, your capacity to believe in yourself, your capacity to calm yourself when you need to, your connection to the universe, and now put it into action. So these lunations in November are very powerful, connected to our indomitable spirit. Excuse me. So the final thoughts. When in doubt, frolic. That's my final thought for the rest of November. Seriously. When in doubt, try to have fun, lighten your spirit, do what you need to do, put on some music, dance, do something to lighten your spirit. There's a lot going on in the world, And if we focus too much on that, it brings us down. And certainly we have strong thoughts about what's happening, but in the end, for our own immune system, for our own body, mind, and spirit health, we have to be able to choose where we are putting our energy and how we maintain our own harmony. When in doubt, frolic. Okay, so I'm sending you much, much, much love. I've been really, really, really busy lately, which is why I'm just recording this today on November 13th. But that's why I also wanted to include the full moon. Be well, be strong, connect with your indomitable spirit, and remember, open your psychic senses and be watching for the next episode on the Maverick podcast. If you want more information, if you want some education on ways that you could open to receive more information specifically. All right. Much love to you. Bye for now.